All right, welcome back to True Gem TV, where we are highlighting athletes from the Dayton area. Today, we are joined by a very special guest. He is currently playing at Wright State. I transferred here about a year ago. We are joined by Michael Imariagbe. What's going on, man?
What's going on? How's it going?
Not too bad, not too bad. How's the off season going? I know you guys have been working. How's it been? How's it been so far?
It's been very busy, like focusing on the basics, details, and just learning how to be disciplined. So
Yeah,
it's been busy.
yeah, for sure, man. I see, it looks like you guys are getting in a lot of work. Obviously, you guys got some new teammates and stuff, and I want to ask you a little bit about that. But first off, I just kind of want to like people that maybe don't know you. Um, you're from Houston, is it correct?
Yep, Houston, Texas.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, like, obviously, Houston and Dayton are very different. So, what do you like? Do you like what do you like about Dayton? Maybe what do you dislike about Dayton? And like, how's that? How's it been so far?
Uh, I say Dayton's been pretty smooth. The only difference is that Houston is like a lot going on every day. It's more like loud. If I had to picture Houston, it would be just like just stuff everywhere, like colorful and stuff like that. And I say if I had to picture Dayton, it's like it's more quiet and dull. So I mean, it's cool though. Change of scenery is pretty good sometimes. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, no, definitely. I know. Like I've lived here my whole life, but like even when like I go other places, I'm like, dang, this is like a lot different because
yeah,
Dayton's just very, like, it's kind of in a sense it can be nice because like there's not a lot of distractions really because there's not a lot going on, and you can kind of just grind. But
yeah,
yeah, that makes sense though. I'm sure there's pros and cons of both, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. So like going to Wright State, like what drew you to Wright State and why did you ultimately land on, being here in this area?
Uh, so when I was like in a portal, I committed late because I was trying to find a school that best fit me because I also had 2 years left at the time. So the school I was going to pick next was going to be the school I stay at and graduate from and get my master's from. I'm currently getting my master's in my last year. So I was taking visits. I took a visit to I visited Wright State. They showed me everything. I met the whole coaching staff, and they seemed pretty genuine. Like I chose this school because of the coaches and the connections they like they have. So I felt like it was real. Most coaches, most teams, they just want you for your talent, and they use you and then boot you up out of there. But I feel like here it's like even after I graduate and leave here, I'll still be able to talk to them and come back here and things of that nature. So that's why I chose Wright State. I feel like we get taken care of pretty good here. Good environment, good fan base. Everything is pretty nice. So, like I can't complain about nothing. So
Yeah.
that's why I chose Wright State.
For sure. No, that's good, man. And it's I'm glad to hear like, you're getting your masters and everything. Like congrats on that. Is that something you like take pride in of like being a student athlete obviously and like still like focusing on your game but also like getting your education and like balancing that?
Yeah, for sure. Like most people don't get this opportunity to get their masters, so like I'm extremely grateful to like be able to get my masters and still play basketball at the same time. I feel like it's a good thing to have, especially when you have in a good program. So I'm extremely grateful for that. So
Yeah, definitely, man. And that's, I think that's one thing like maybe like the extra year like that's got to benefit a lot. Like that's awesome. Um
yeah,
so obviously like you guys have a lot of guys from last year's team that had left and a lot of guys that have come in. Like how has that been and like are you like trying to just build chemistry right now basically because like it's such a change and I mean this is like every team anymore in college like they go through all this change but I mean yeah, like how's that like going so far?
I feel like we already have chemistry. Like I feel like the moment we seen each other, we all arrived here on campus. Like the chemistry was there. Like we all have the same personality, and we hang around each other on and off the court. So it's no guessing where somebody's at or wonder if this person is mad or not. Like what I mean, we know how each other feel. So I feel like chemistry is already there. Right now, we're just focusing on the little things like details. I guess you could say we kind of rebuilding, but not really. We just building off of what we did last year and trying to like do better this year. So that's the goal. That's the plan for this year. So yeah, it's a whole new team, but same program. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And I think that's something that's probably like really important is like keeping the, like you said, like the program, like the coaching, like 'cause you have so many guys changing, but if guys come in and see what you guys have already been building, kind of fix in like that, I can imagine that would be, you know, something that happens. I do want to ask you too, like since you've only been here for a year, but it also like you probably like you feel like you have to take more of like leadership or like being more of like a veteran role because like you're an older guy and you've been here. I mean, for only a year, but anymore, like you're still one of the guys that's been here the longest.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, that taking on that leadership role is like different to me because usually my past school years, I've been like not the youngest, but I've been young. I haven't been the oldest, so it's like even the freshmen here they calling me Unc now. So at first I was like, I'm Unc on the team. I'm really the oldest, but you know I kind of accepted that already. So the leadership role, I'm still learning little things about that. It's not something you just like step into. Well, I guess you could say that, but it's not something I don't know. I'm still learning. I've never been in this position before, so
Right.
yeah. But it's been going pretty good so far. So
Yeah. No, and I think it'll probably. I'm just assuming like that's something that can probably like grow as the season goes on. Like when you guys are,
yeah,
in tough road environments or something like that. Like you'll probably, it might just happen or something. Like you'll be able to step up and kind of like show the guys and stuff.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel like to be a leader, it's like you can't just say it. You know what I mean? I feel like it's kind of like the team and the guys, your teammates around you, the players gotta choose you to be their leader. So it's like the little things you do on and off the court. You know what I mean? Like sacrifice, be righteous man, and stuff like that. So it's like
Yeah.
your teammates are choosing the leader, choosing to follow you. You can't just walk in and say I'm the leader because people are gonna be like, well, what am I following you or listening to you for? So
Right.
yeah,
We got to prove it to them a little bit.
yeah,
Um. So I want to ask you too about like the off season and everything. Like I've seen you've been playing in a lot of summer leagues. Getting the work in. Like, is it important to you to play in these summer leagues to kind of like stay sharp or like just stay in shape even or like what do you kind of take away from them?
uh, I feel like I feel like play in I play in these summer leagues to kind of just stay in shape and stay in that basketball mindset. I could be like in bed all day on the weekends and doing nothing, just sitting there watching TV or on my phone. But it's like playing in these leagues could help me sharpen my game too. And I just mainly do it because of conditioning and getting up and down. Working on my game a little bit. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that makes
it's not.
sense. I had like I kind of wondered like what the mindset would be because it's kind of like obviously it's a lot different than like
Yeah,
like a
college.
regular game. But I guess that
Yeah,
makes sense. Like you're staying in shape. It is a lot of running. Like every summer league game I've ever watched has been like kind of similar to like the All-Star game in the NBA. So
yeah.
that makes sense. So I want to ask you also like, is there like any players that like when you were growing up like you would watch to kind of like model your game after or like watch film of or anything like that?
When I was growing up, I never really watched film like that. The player I watched that like was my favorite player was Dwayne Wade when he was on the Heat. Playing with LeBron. That was the type of player I used to watch, and just watching him over the years as a kid. I guess you could say I try to model my game because I love dribbling. Anybody can tell you that. I just been when I was a kid, I ain't have no hoop. I just had a basketball. So I was also watching Kyrie too, and copying everything he did and stuff like that. And you can say LeBron. It's a couple players I watched
Yeah.
though, but yeah,
Well, that kind of like brings me to a question I just thought of too. Is like, so like obviously you're a taller guy.
yeah,
But like when you were growing up, like before you got a growth spurt, like were you mostly like a guard?
yeah. It's a crazy thing. I tell people this all the time. Like I used to be a point guard. Like I was short. It's in middle school, high school. I didn't start growing. I ain't hit like my growth spurt to like I'll say junior year of high school. that's when I really started growing. But I used to be short. Like, I used to run point guard and everything. So yeah.
So was that like tough? Like obviously like you get a growth spurt and then they're like, well, you're a forward now. Like was it hard
hmm
to like now you got to like learn post moves and kind of like play a different style, or like did it come naturally to you, or was that like a tough like
Nah,
adjustment period?
it actually didn't come natural. Like when I first got put in the post, it was like, dang man, I'm not a post. You know, like I feel like I should be on the perimeter. You know, I started doing back downs. It just didn't feel comfortable. But then it's like, as I got mature, it's like it's a good thing to learn how to do post moves because now I got guard skills and big skills. So it's like whoever's on me is a mismatch for real.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's what I was gonna ask you too, is like being able to have those like ball handling moves and kind of point guard skills, but you're playing against slower defenders, like that has
hmm
to be a good advantage for you. Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, the last thing I have for you is like, do you have any of like a piece of advice or anything for like young players that like maybe are from the area or something, like just to like get to the like the level that you're on, like D1, playing college, like playing a lot of minutes, like any yeah, certain piece of advice.
Yeah, all I gotta say is like it's not going to be easy because I started off at the D3 to Juco to low Division 1 to here. So it's all about how much work you put in. You can't sit around all day and think and say like or think you're nice and then you think you're gonna make it. Like you got to keep working. And even when you make it to the Division 1 level, you got to keep working even harder because like you could be the main player on your high school team and think you that guy. Once you get to D1 level, you're not that guy. Everybody's that guy or used to be that guy. So it's like you really got to earn your spot. Spots are not going to be given to you. So all I say is stay focused, consistent, and keep working, and it will pay off. Like it's no way it's not going to pay off. You work at it every day. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's kind of like a conversation I had with the last guest. He plays overseas, and he was
Mhm.
saying like he played at like Mount Verde, which is like the like biggest, or one
Yeah.
of the biggest like high schools. And it's like he was like every level would be like a reality check though, because you go from like even that level is like you're playing with all these other guys and stuff. You kind of have to like fit your role in and stuff. So it's definitely good advice. Yeah. Well, Michael, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you taking out the time, and I hope the rest of the off season goes smooth for you guys, and best of luck next year and and beyond.
Appreciate you, man.